Welcome to For Action Takers Only. Tonight we're going to be interviewing Jennifer Montoya. She is from Denver, Colorado, here in the Houston area, also College Station area, I should say, and she is part of the Houston Power Hour. I'm going to bring her on in and let her tell you about herself. How you doing, Jennifer?
Hey Todd, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself and your current business?
Of course. I'm Jennifer Montoya. I am originally from Denver, but my husband and we've moved around a little bit. So we've been I think we're in the fourth state now, here in College Station, Texas. So we're pretty close to Houston. We're pretty big in the Houston SubTo community. And then I also do like full time, I guess technically full time. I own a bookkeeping firm called Out of Sight Bookkeeping, and we specialize in small business bookkeeping. And now we also handle real estate investors.
All right, all right. How long have you been doing that business?
The business itself, I think, is close to, I think it's close to 3 years old at this point.
Okay.
But I've done bookkeeping literally like all my life.
Keeping all your life. All right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how did you become involved in the SubTo community and what inspired you to join?
So funny story. My husband joined SubTo June of 2022,
Okay.
and I was super supportive, but I was very much like, okay, you do that. I'm gonna focus on my business. So don't want to know anything about it. Like don't get me involved. But I don't know. I started kind of like watching the Zooms over his shoulder and seeing what he was up to and seeing who he was talking to, and started to hear some of the excitement going on and some of the buzz. So finally roped me in around like August of last year. Um, what inspired me to join, I think, realistically, was just like the potential for all of the opportunities, and it's creative, right? Like it's not something that I had heard traditionally before, so it was intriguing to learn about like creative financing and doing things in a different way. So um, that's kind of what inspired me to join, but I definitely have stayed just for the family and the community connections. Just it's just a good energy to be in.
Exactly. You mentioned the energy, and that's what my first time at the Power Hour. The energy was amazing, and it's addicting, and I miss it now. I'm having to do soccer, and I want to go to Power Hour. so so what do you find most exciting or rewarding about being in the SubTo community?
All of the connections. Especially, so I feel like we have something special in Houston. Like I really feel like there's a solid foundation of leadership there, and there's a lot of just incredible go-givers in, especially in Houston, that at least, I don't know, maybe I'm biased because that's where I spend most of my time. But um it's just there's such good people around, and it's people who are always willing to help you, they're willing to help other people. It's just that's the most beneficial part. But then like the rewarding part is like I'm also one of those people, so it's rewarding for me to also lend my knowledge to other people who are up and coming and don't know all the answers, and I definitely don't know all the answers, but I have more answers than some. So helping those other people. I actually have a quote that I hang on my wall, and it says, "We rise by lifting others." It's
Hmm.
something that Jeremy and I tend to live by. You can't do everything on your own. You can't do things by yourself. It takes a community for everybody to grow.
You're right. It does.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Got a little frog in my throat. So, what with the first connections you made? How did that go? Do you remember the first connections you made in SubTo?
The first connections.
Yeah. Who were the first people like you and Jeremy met in SubTo?
It's hard to tell. Like the beginning of it is really all a blur. I'm also really bad with names and faces. And a
Okay,
big learning curve for
you're
me.
not the only one.
Yeah. So I think the people that stand out the most, though, is probably going to be like Jeff and Regina, right? They're the Houston regional leaders here in Sub 2.
Hmm.
So definitely remember meeting them. I remember our first like official, what do you call them? like our first in-person meetup after we moved here to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We met uh, the we met Seema and her husband, and that was like they're now doing like so well, but that was also their first meetup. So
Oh, really?
that's kind of neat to like look back on and remember. It was like both of our first meetup, and now they've joined a team, and they're just like their whole family joined a team, and they're just like doing incredible. So that one stands out for sure. But yeah, we've met so many amazing people. It's hard to remember like who we met first and who
Right.
was the most impressionable. There's a lot of people that.
So you and Jeremy and the rest of them are crucial in putting together the Houston Power Hour. And Jeremy told us the story about that. Were you involved from the get go? Did he drag you in on that one too, or what?
He definitely drug me in on that one. I came as much as I could, at the very, very beginning. But as it started to grow and ramp up, I started to help do a little bit of the organizing and, kind of finding some of the spots. Andrew did a lot of finding the spots, but um, started to kind of work on the coordination part of it, some of the organizing. So we were super consistent. Jeremy's been to, I think he might have missed one once because he was sick. Maybe, maybe he still
One.
went.
So
Yeah,
my excuse for soccer is no good then, huh?
exactly. All the way from college. I know that's people say that to us all the time. They're like, "Dang, you guys come from College Station like every single weekend?" Yes.
Yeah, I remember when you told me that. I was like, wow, you guys are really dedicated to this. That says a lot. That does say a lot. So, are there any specific initiatives or projects within the subject two or SubTo community that you're particularly excited about right now?
Power hour. It's always power hour.
Always
Um,
Power Hour.
yeah, it's really like our favorite time of the week. We prepare for it Friday night, and then we're up bright and early Saturday so we can make it there on time. And we try to stay for networking afterwards, but it's a little bit of a drive for us, so sometimes we can't hang out. But um, so there's power hour, and then also really like we're super excited about zero down. I know that that's like the new hot button, like the new hot thing for the community.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's something that speaks to both of us. I own a business. Jeremy and I ran a business together a few years ago, before my bookkeeping basically. And yeah, we speak business, and that's what we really love it. So we're really excited about that and see where that goes.
So, so are you going to be part of the zero down part two? Have you done your homework? Did Jeremy make you do your homework?
Definitely. Well, we definitely know 50 people. Like that's basically
Okay.
what shows up every weekend anyways in power hour. So that part wasn't hard at all.
Not at
Um,
all.
but yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, I got to ask you. I'm going to put you down for one of my friends in my homework because I'm doing it as I talk to them. I'll put them down. So I'm taking the slow route, but I talk to each person I'm going to put on my friends list. So
I love that.
yeah, it's good. I love it too, and I've been loving hanging out with y'all and meeting y'all. It's been great. So let me ask you about your business. How long have you been in business? I asked you about that before. You said a couple years, and then how did you get that started? How did you get started in bookkeeping?
It's a running joke. I joke about the fact that it runs in my veins. Like I bleed bookkeeping. My great grandmother was a bookkeeper. My grandmother still is doing accounting and taxes. My mother does payroll and accounting, and so I've just inherently learned it. I tried really hard in my youth to like make it skip a generation or something, and I ran from it, but it comes so easy to me because I like grew up in it. Like I was doing filing in the office when I was like 6. So it just comes natural.
All right, and you got a lot of clients now. How is that business going for you?
It's going fantastic. It really is. Something that I think SubTo really helped me with was like the networking part of it. Because before that, I was very, very introvert. I still am introverted, but I've learned more skills, like more people skills about going out, meeting people, and connecting with people, and finding ways to benefit them and like help them and provide value to other people.
Right.
And so that's what I take into my business as well. Is like I don't I don't do a lot of sales calls, but I do a lot of discovery calls. I'm actually really passionate about learning other people's businesses, um, how they operate and where they might need some help. And then usually bookkeeping is one of them, or just organization in general. So that's just something that I learned through SubTo is like connecting with people on a how do I provide value to them type of a basis instead of how do I sign them into a client kind of a thing. Like, how can I help you? What can I do for you? How can I provide value to you? So
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
been super helpful.
I was going to ask what has Sub2 taught you to help with your business, and then has it provided you more clients? Are you getting more clients through Sub2 too? Since people in the real estate investing need bookkeepers.
Yeah. So I don't I don't openly promote within SubTo. Like it's really frowned upon to do that. So I don't like advertise or anything, but just the word of mouth. I provide a lot of value. I help people out a lot, and I've built up a really great team that also does really great work. And so we've got really good word of mouth referrals, and it's grown since then. So definitely have learned, leading with value through SubTo, and then of course just all of the word of mouth has helped, boost the business, which is
Right.
nice.
So, what are your goals with the business and Sub2 here in the future? Short term.
Short-term goals. My next immediate goal is to hire basically a manager or an operator to kind of insert in between myself and my team so that I can start working on more infrastructure and building the business a little bit higher rather than focusing so hard on like the team part of it. I'm ready to hand that piece of it off so that I can focus on scaling so that I can help more business owners. Like I'm getting close to my capacity with the team that I have, and bringing on more team members is going to be a little bit challenging. So I'd rather put somebody in between that can start to manage that part of it.
Okay. So, what's your avatar in Sub2? I've been meaning to ask that. I never got your avatar. Did you ever do that?
I did. I resonate with quite a few of them, and it actually changes quite a bit. So I feel like it's probably helper connector. I'm really good at identifying where I can help other people and connect people together. One of the things that I do, I've let up on it a little bit, but I'm going to dive back into it now that some of our big travels are over. Is I actually meet with a lot of the newer SubTo members, like new Houston SubTo.
Okay.
I do Zoom calls with them, basically like right after they join. So it's almost like an extension of their MSA. So they meet with their MSA, and their MSA gives them homework. But then like I meet with them, and I'm able to kind of like plug them into Houston. Like I'm able to get them a little bit closer to the community, tell them where they should be going, like Power Hour, or some of them are not callers, some of them are integrators. And so I'm able to help kind of like point them in other people's direction so that they can get a little farther, a little faster.
Cool. So, how's it been like with having your business, getting in Sub2, and then trying to do real estate investing? Are you out there actively looking for properties, or what's your role in that part?
Great question. It's a little bit of a transition at this point because we were doing like wholesaling ourselves. We were trying to build up a wholesaling business and do things like that. But just with everything that's kind of happened recently, especially Zero Down, right? And like Jeremy's part of Zero Down, and so that changes things quite a bit. That takes up quite a bit of his time,
Right.
working on that piece of it. That's a big undertaking. We're starting to transition a little bit more to like a JV model where we'll definitely help people with deals. Like if people have deals and they need help with them, they can come to us and we can kind of help them out with those.
All right. Do you provide any other services like with your bookkeeping? Is it just bookkeeping, or can people come to you? Do you have any TC skills or anything like that?
I wish I had TC skills. I started to look into it like way in the beginning because I was like, I'm a bookkeeper. I do the paper, I do the numbers. Like that's kind of you would think that's like the natural transition, but
Mhm.
I hated it.
All right.
Not like
So,
doing TC.
so, what's the name of your business? You told us once, right? Go ahead and tell us again. Do you have a website for your business? Do you have contact information? You can give all that here.
Yeah, so it's out of sight bookkeeping, out of sight SITE bookkeeping.com. So you can find me there on the web. You can also reach out to me on Instagram, just at Jennifer K Montoya. Um, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got for right now.
All right, I'm going to ask you to send me that information too, so I can put it in the description on the YouTube part.
Yeah.
This will go up on YouTube tonight, and probably I'm gonna try and get it up on the Spotify tonight too. We'll see. I got some other things to take care of, but we're getting ready to wind it down. So, what are some of your short-term goals for investing in the future? Are you going to invest in businesses? Are you focusing on businesses now since you're in zero down, or are you going to stay on looking for houses to possibly get, or what's your plan there?
We want to do both.
You want to-
Yeah, we're super passionate about businesses, but that's a really long game, right? Those take a lot more time than like real estate do.
Right.
Deals take a little bit shorter amount of time for real estate. So for right now, I think we're really focused on kind of like building out that JV model so that it's easier for people to bring stuff to us so that we can help other people. And then just focusing also on that long term of business buying. We're really excited about that.
Do you have any in the sites yet? Any businesses in the sites that you might be looking towards?
We do have a couple that are kind of in the pipeline. We do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome because we just started. They just started zero down, and you're already got some in the pipeline. That's awesome. So thank you very much for your time, and I also want to thank you for all you do with the Houston Power Hour. It's an amazing group. I wouldn't have started this without Houston Power Hour, so I got to thank them for everything. They really kicked me in the. My first one was amazing meeting y'all, and I've loved it ever since. So again, I thank you for your time. I thank you for coming on here and doing this, and we'll talk to you more.
Thanks, Todd. This is amazing. I'm really excited for this.
So am I. Thank you for being here. I really thank you very much for the time to do this.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, I'm going to end the recording. Oop.